Senior quarterback Austin Bruns threw for 4 touchdowns and ran for another as the Coldwater Cavaliers ran to a 41-6 win over their league rivals from Delphos St. John's. Going into this night's contest, Coldwater was the #1 rated team in the state of Ohio for Division V, according to the Ohio National Guard and JJHuddle.com Power Poll. Delphos, on the other hand, was the #3 rated team in Division VI. It looked like quite the matchup on paper, but in reality, it wasn't much of a contest at all, as Coldwater scored on 6 consecutive first-half possessions to take a 38-0 lead into the halftime locker room. It was a bold statement for Chip Otten's squad, and JJHD was there. Last year, as a junior, Austin Bruns was just an outstanding quarterback. This year, he's something else, a very poised individual. In a conference loaded with senior standout quarterbacks, he's the man by quite a margin. And at 4-0 and 2-0 in MAC play, Coldwater is the team, and apparently by quite a margin. Although our friends at Marion Local might have something to say about that in the near future. Meanwhile, at 2-2, Todd Schulte's Blue Jays are not the achieving team that he's used to having at this point. He's unhappy with their effort, and he doesn't mind saying so. On this night, his team gave up 405 yards total unofficially, and almost 200 of that, 181 yards of that, was on the ground. When was the last time you saw someone run the ball on Delphos St. John's? And of course the novelty of that situation isn't lost on Mr. Otten either. The first bombs fell on Delphos at 8:53 left in the first quarter, when Austin Bruns scored on a 7-yard zone read to the left side of the field. Just 3 minutes later, Mr. Bruns found Mitch Shane here for a 51-yard fly route, and it was 14-0. On their next possession, Bruns located Caleb Seifring in the end zone to make it 21-0, and the route was on. Just a couple plays later, Caleb Hoying intercepted a pass and set up yet another Bruns to Seifring touchdown pass to make it 28-0. At this point, in an attempt to manicure the score, the Cavaliers started to show a lot more run versus pass. And in the end, that play action set up a beautiful 11-yard play action fade to the corner to Hoying from Bruns to make the score 35-0. Mix in a couple more field goals and a second-half touchdown, and you get the idea. The MAC is a great league this year, but it looks like it might be Coldwater's league to lose. Only the character, talent, and history of Marion Local appears to stand in the way between Coldwater High School and the 2012 MAC football title. But the challenge is really a challenge for Austin Bruns. The senior quarterback has played in 3 straight state title games. At any other school, for any other coach, in any other conference, that would be amazing. But let's face it, it's been done before in the MAC. And for Austin Bruns to emerge as one of the great players in MAC history, he's going to have to win it all, or he'll just be another face in the crowd.
Didn't expect they would do things like that. They were better than we are. It's pretty simple.
What do you tell your kids now? You kind of say, hey, you got to give credit where credit's due and forget this and move on. I imagine.
Oh, definitely. I mean, we give credit to Coldwater. They beat us up and down this field tonight. I mean, we'll go back and we'll go to work starting tomorrow. I mean, whether we watch the film or not, I don't know if it'll do us a whole lot of good, but we don't have anywhere to go but up. We got to get back.
that as good as the first half you can play?
Yeah, that's about as good as we can play right there. Our best players, really these first 4 weeks, our best players have been playing really well. Austin is just playing great, and those guys have been playing together forever, and we got enough weapons. We got enough fast guys that can all catch, and he's not afraid to throw them. Last year he maybe would say, okay, when it's time, I'm throwing it to Caleb. But this year he's got 5, 6 guys, that we're shuffling them in and getting them the ball and mixing things up. So that's good. And then the defense just played great. Our biggest fear was that they would be able to run first downs, and Jettenhoff would get the first downs, and we wouldn't be able to get the offense out there. And fortunately, we kept stopping them. So we had opportunities, and it was a great first half. The only downer is Jordan Chapin might have pulled a hamstring. So that's not good because he's one of our best guys.
Yeah, but it also helps that you have the depth to really kind of back him up. Find, maybe not replace what he can do, but fill that spot. And
that's really been kind of our goal. Jordan Chapin could probably average 100 yards rushing a game, but we know he's got to be out there on defense, and so that's why we try to mix the 3 backs, and actually heard it on the block punt. So we're kind of kicking ourselves. Well, why even do that at that point? But you don't think you're going to play.
Didn't have to do a whole lot of passing tonight. When Austin did pass, he was going to go for 6, but the running game really kind of.
It was good. We've never been able to run on them successfully. And so maybe it was a personnel issue, or maybe our guys were just a little stouter this year. But typically we have a tough time. Austin made some nice scrambles, and he ran his best. He sprained his ankle a little bit early in camp, and he's finally all the way healthy running wise. I don't know what his stats were in the first half, but kind of had to be close to 300 yards passing right there.
189, I think it was, because you didn't throw that much.
I think they were long scores, aren't they?
Is that something you saw in film, or is that something you just thought of?
The reverse pass?
Yeah.
We didn't see anything, but it's just something early there where the reverse, you tell Brody, who's one of our best athletes, who's the backup quarterback, you tell him, hey, Brody, if you don't like what's happening, just run it, and we'll live for another play. And just early in the game, you see the fly, and then you see the reverse, and you hope they kind of get lost, and it's a reverse. Well, now it's a reverse pass. So that was nice. We felt like, and going into the game, it's always been so tight with them. It's like, gosh, how can we make a big play early and get ahead and feel good? So that was a risk I was willing to take. We had the ball right, about the 50 or so. So it was good. I guess when it works, it's always looks good. So yep.
That play at the end of the first half that you scored on, you probably scored on that last year too if you ran it. The difference is, with the pass he made, you're going to score every time with the safe, beautiful little fade pass like that. I don't think Austin Bruns was able to throw that sucker last year. Yeah, he's a pretty sophisticated guy at this point.
He's gotten a lot better. He has worked. Gosh, he's worked as hard as anybody we've ever had. He lifts, he runs, he's worked at it. He went to several camps. He has really improved his game. The one thing he did last year, early, when he'd get in trouble, he'd start running around and try to make something out of nothing. Now, when he runs it, he gets it up the field, or he keeps his eyes open. And actually, the one he threw to Hubie on the scramble, it really probably wasn't a great. He made it happen, but it was our first down play. Hey, throw it away and live for another play. But I guess if you're that good, that's a Matty Malk kind of play right there.